polylegato and how to do polylegato in Voices of Prague. Now first of all, what it played for us is just a normal track with no legato. So polylegato button was off, although I do use occasionally sustain pedal to make sure that the words are built tightly and that they work together. What we're going to have a look at here is the sustain pedal. As we can see in different parts, it's on. But the polylegato button is off because I do not want the glides, so I do have it off. Polylegato is assigned to MIDI CC 3 in this instance. It's a MIDI controller which I'm using for this to activate it and deactivate it as I need it. Now we recommend that you assign your all your MIDI CCs basically almost anywhere, excluding MIDI CC 1, MIDI CC 2, foot pedal, portamento, all these. Try to avoid these if they are named, but otherwise, excluding 20 to 31, you can assign them anywhere. So 46 to 63 is free for you. 84 to 90 is completely free. 102 to 119, completely free. So, now we know that we can assign the MIDI CCs and how to do it. It's, by the way, right click. And then you can either move your MIDI CC controller, or you can alternatively choose it from the drop down. So, we also have the loop here, on and off. Now I'm actually going to be using the loop to make sure that it starts from where I want it to start from. We've heard this track and we don't want to work with this track anymore. That's a part I finished. I'm happy with it. I don't want to work on it anymore. But I want it to start always from the step 55 and end on the step 63 and keep repeating it. So what I'll do is activate the loop. Now I've already assigned the loop to MIDI CC 55. That way I know that when it turns on, it will start from the step 55 and end on the step 63 and repeat from the step 55. I stop using the restart at this point, but I use my MIDI CC 55 as the restart. Because if you use the restart, it will override the loop. So you don't want to do that, you want to use the loop. So, first of all, what else have we assigned already? We've written the text. They will be singing do, o, mi, ne, e. Sounded silly, but that's what they'll be singing, but with legato. For that, I've assigned a MIDI data here, which I've written for the. Here we go. We will be able to watch it live pretty much as it takes action. I've purposely done it separately to the MIDI data being played, just so we can quickly click through. But otherwise you will be able to observe here that I've got the sustain pedal down, which turns off only on some of the steps. So only when the word ends. So I've got do, o, mi, i, ne, e. So I'm ending it always when I don't want the interval to be legato. I'm dropping the sustain pedal. But the also other thing I'm controlling here is the 55. Now what is the 55? Let's click on that. The MIDI CC 55 is ultimately the data which we provide, which provides the volume of the legato interval. You can have a look at that here. But if, sorry, that's not 55, that's loop. 52 is the volume. So we need to have a look at the controller 52. Here we go. Logic playing out with me. This is the Logic X, the new one. I'm still getting used to it a bit. So as you can see here, I'm controlling the time, the volume live. I also control the time in one of them, which is assigned to MIDI CC 33. So, let's have a quick look at how it sounds. It will play the polylegato for you from the each voice group first, so we hear them individually, and then it will play the whole voice group together. So, let's press play. And we're going to try to watch the we're going to try to watch what's happening in the remaining stage. So here we go. Press play. Polylegato is now on. MIDI CC controlling the start and end. Volume and time is set. This all can be control live, and you will see that I'm actually adjusting these values as it plays. Loop is on now. So now we've heard all the interval and interval changes. And the important bit to remember is how does it actually decide what voice to connect to which? Now this was something which we worked on very hard on for quite some time to come up with something a bit more inventive than simply some extra fixed rules. But we wanted something which was playable live, and here you can see that everything is actually played a bit like a harp-like. That is because what I always want to retain in this track is that the highest note is voice 1, the second note is voice 2, and the lowest note of the triad is the third note. So I always want the highest to connect to the highest, the middle connect to the middle, and the lowest connect to the lowest. Well, the easiest thing is to adjust the order in which they are played. As first always connects to the first pressed in the next chord, second always to the second of the next chord, and third always to the third of the next chord. Now for this instant, I'm actually going to make this slightly bigger so it's easier for me to edit. Because we've got the A note here, and we've got the A note here. We want it to be a nice glide across the octave. So what I do, I take this A note and I move it to be the first of the next chord. Now, the first will connect to the first. It jumped for me, so I just need to come back a bit. The F note will actually connect to the F note, E note of the other one, so there'll be just a semitone glide. And that is basically the main rules. First to the first, second to the second, and third to the third pressed. I cannot think of anything much simpler we could have come up with in order for it to make it performable live. And as you can hear in this demo, it does sound quite nice and allows for reasonable control of the glide. So that pretty much concludes our tutorial, and we will just play you the final tracks one more time so you can hear the glides. Thank you very much for listening.